Our active weather watch begins right now. We'll talk about what's happening in BC and Atlantic Canada in a moment, but we're not forgetting you across the other parts of the country where you're seeing some pleasant weather. Now, through Saskatchewan yesterday, we had some record-breaking temperatures. Look at the paw, 18.2, the old record, 1924. I'm wondering if any of our viewers were even around to experience that 17.8, but a new record nonetheless. Prince Albert 21.2 and Winnipeg 16.6, the record yesterday. Now for today, we are seeing this system move into southern Manitoba. Still quite mild. Anything in yellow is going to be your warmer temperatures. Blue is going to be cold. So overnight Saskatoon cooling right down compared to yesterday. And we're seeing some lightning strikes in northwestern Ontario at this point. I want to point out that for Alberta, cool air is moving through as we head into Friday, and for the weekend we're looking at single-digit highs in places like Edmonton and Calgary. Have been seasonably cool. Take a look at Toronto downtown, 11.5 for Tuesday, Pearson 10.9, and Mount Forest 8.2, and Hamilton 9.9. That was yesterday. Today fairly similar in terms of your temperatures, but when the sun came out it just warmed it right up. Northerly winds into tomorrow, fairly clear across most of Ontario, but then this system starts to pull on through, bringing thunderstorms tonight, and then it does start to stall out and completely dissipate as we look to Thursday here in Sault Ste. Marie. We're going to see some cloud cover. And for Montreal, I do want to mention that we are seeing rain showers Thursday into your Friday, and that's from the nor'easter that's impacting Atlantic Canada. It's just bringing a little bit of rain over towards you. Look at this, nice sunshine for you for the next couple of days in the city of Toronto, and temperature tonight and into tomorrow. But the most rain is going to hit the South Shore towards Lunenburg, over towards Yarmouth as well, and for New Brunswick, places like St. John. So when all is said and done, up to 100 millimeters of rain, and a little bit of rain tonight in BC, although we don't have any warnings in place. Stay with us. Active Weather Watch continues. And you might get some photos of stormy weather tonight in BC. We've got a system moving in some rain. The rain is going to start to pick up in Vancouver in the next little while, an hour or so. And for the east coast, we have a nor'easter, and that is approaching parts of the maritime provinces where there are rainfall warnings in place. Two big stories on both coasts. Now for Atlantic Canada, we do have rainfall warnings in place, including St. John, Yarmouth, Lunenburg as well. How much rain will you get? Well, likely up to 100 millimeters. Anywhere we've marked in red, Yarmouth seeing some of the most rain and some of the strongest winds too. For Halifax, 30 to 60 millimeters of rain for you, because they can get clogged with all those leaves falling at this point. Now, overnight, we do have the rain showers, as you can see right here, moving across the maritime provinces. Newfoundland for you, catching a really nice day tomorrow. It's going to be 10 degrees in St. John's, southeast winds and sunshine. So that's your story there. This is the active weather where we could see some localized flooding, unfortunately. Strong northeasterly winds. It's a slow-moving system, and it sticks around for your Friday, and then it eventually moves into Newfoundland by the end of Friday. Let's move next to the city of Vancouver. And we've already seen quite a bit so far this week. In fact, in the last 11 days, it's been very soggy for you in southern BC. But rainfall as of 5 p.m. local time, Vancouver sitting at 16 millimeters, Port Alberni 108. This includes last night's storm, West Vancouver 27 and Pitt Meadows 10, Abbotsford 9. So we're just going to add on to these totals as we look to tonight and into tomorrow. And likely Vancouver, the lower mainland, seeing 50 to 80 millimeters of rain. For Tofino, a little bit less this round. We get a bit of a break for Friday, so Thursday showers, even in the interior, and then for Saturday a new system moves up, and it will be a big soaker by then. Now please send us your photos and videos. So what else is going on across the country? We haven't forgotten about you in the prairies. We saw record-breaking temperatures on Tuesday. The Paw 18.2 degrees, breaking an old record back in 1924. That's an old record. Winnipeg 16.6, and we are seeing a cool down coming to Alberta. There's the blues coming in. Some showers tomorrow evening for Edmonton as well as Calgary, right along this cold front, and then cooler air funneling into the prairie provinces. Moving next to Ontario, not much going on there. City of Ottawa, where you're in our thoughts tonight. You are going to see a chance of some cloudy conditions into tomorrow afternoon. Montreal showers, but across the GTA, generally speaking, it's a quiet Thursday. Take a look at your temperatures right here. Thursday morning, Toronto 6 degrees, but look at that sunshine. Right now, Jacqueline Whittle with the science behind storm surge. Most active weather tonight is on the west coast and the east coast, and it's certainly fall. We've got very fall-like systems moving into BC. Lots of rain overnight tonight. No rainfall warnings, not as bad as last night, but certainly we'll tell you how much you're going to get. And as for the east coast, a nor'easter is on the way. Developing tonight is going to be the strongest winds as well as the most rain. We'll tell you who's in a rainfall warning in a moment, but let's first talk about you in BC. As of 5 p.m. local time, this is the rain you've seen. Now, this does include what happened last night. So places like Port Alberni, 108 millimeters of rain does include last night. And then you got a little bit more through today. West Vancouver, 27 mils, Comox, 58, and towards Abbotsford, just 9. But that's certainly going to go up by tomorrow. This is our forecast into Thursday night. We've got 50 to 80 millimeters of rain. Abbotsford likely in the 60 millimeter range. So definitely that 9 could look closer to 70. Now this rain is going to continue. We've got some relatively strong winds through the Georgia Strait, but no wind warnings, and it will start to lighten up by Friday, giving you a bit of a break before Saturday's storm, which is going to have about 40 millimeters of rain for Vancouver alone. So your umbrella is your best friend. So Newfoundland, nothing to worry about for now. You've got beautiful sunshine for tomorrow, clear skies, light winds out of the southeast for St. John's at least. And then we do have this rainfall that continues across the maritime provinces. So going to bed tonight, it's going to be cold and raw and windy. And we do have some rainfall warnings in place too. We'll talk about record-breaking temperatures in the prairies in a moment. But right now we're turning our attention to Chris Murphy, who's been in Halifax tonight. All right, so tune in. You'll see Chris holding onto that umbrella, maybe breaking another umbrella. Gloves on, ready to go. So through to Friday, we've got up to 100 millimeters of rain anywhere marked in red. You could get some localized flooding, but where we're not seeing rain tomorrow is going to be in parts of southern Ontario. We're peeling off their layers. We do have that sunshine for you in the southern Ontario region towards the GTA. For Ottawa, we're thinking about you, and you do have, weather-wise, a bit of cloud cover moving in for tomorrow afternoon. And this front is bringing some thunderstorms tonight in northwestern Ontario. Stay with us. Active Weather Watch continues for British Columbia and Atlantic Canada. Glad you could join us for our Active Weather Watch. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. As we look to the most active weather in the country, it's where the cloud tops are thickest, so pointing out the oranges. You can see here through BC, we've got some rain showers moving in across the island and for the lower mainland. And as for you in Atlantic Canada, a nor'easter is developing and it's moving through tonight. We already have rainfall warnings in place because of it. So as we take a look at the BC story first, showers starting to really pick up in Abbotsford, Vancouver within the next 2 hours or so. It's going to be much more intense for you right into the overnight as you're sleeping. And last night was quite a storm. We had power outages, at least 80,000 customers in the dark. Trees were down. People on Twitter talking about lightning strikes hitting trees. And Vancouver at the airport, 74 kilometer-an-hour gusts. Now take a look at the rain showers here, and quite unsettled. And it just continues to be unsettled. Typical fall weather, of course. We have right into Thursday, 50 to 80 millimeters of rain across the lower mainland and parts of the interior, as you can see as well, seeing under 20 millimeters of rain. And we've seen a few lightning strikes tonight on the western shores of Vancouver Island, so that is continuing through the evening time. Moving towards eastern Canada, that's our next story, where showers building in through Halifax and New Brunswick, and taking a look at Halifax from earlier today, but we expect to see the most rain anywhere that's painted in green. So those are our rainfall warnings. Yarmouth, Lunenburg, St. John as well. This could mean 50 to 100 millimeters of rain, with the worst of it beginning after midnight tonight, continuing right into your morning commute. So anywhere in red could see some localized flooding. Towards Halifax, up towards Sydney, seeing less amounts, 30 to 60 millimeters of rain. And as for you in Newfoundland, tomorrow sunny in St. John's, getting up to 10 degrees, southeast winds, a nice day. But you will see some showers. It's just not going to be as intense as what we're getting with the maritime provinces, which are impacted by this nor'easter. Tomorrow, we're going to see a lot more sunshine from Sudbury down towards Toronto to start off your day. But this front is bringing some isolated thunderstorms in northwestern Ontario. This does stall out around Sault Ste. Marie. Coming up, more on your active weather in BC and Atlantic Canada. Our Active Weather Watch continues. So what's going on across the country? We've got rain moving through BC, quite a bit in through Abbotsford by tomorrow afternoon. And then for parts of northwestern Ontario, a few thunderstorms cleared out of southern Ontario. And for Atlantic Canada, we have this nor'easter making its way through, dropping heavy amounts of rain and bringing some strong winds. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But right now, let's head to the city of Halifax, where Rachel shoots in and Chris Murphy are on location.
So, of course, rain boots, rain pants. Chris and I learned that this week. Rain pants, so they're all necessary today and towards tomorrow.
Especially if you're going to be out for long periods of time. Definitely have all your rain gear ready. Now, so far, City of Halifax has only seen about 5 millimeters of rain at last checked. Yarmouth closer to 26 millimeters, and we're seeing steady rain bands moving through New Brunswick, Fredericton, St. John over towards Moncton, Stanley, Perth Andover as well. So definitely the heavier rain is there with the yellows and the dark green. That's what the radar is indicating. But it will continue to rain in Halifax through the overnight and into the morning commute. But definitely the most rain is going to be anywhere marked in green. That's where the rainfall warnings are in place. 50 to 100 millimeters by the end of the day on Thursday. So as of 9 p.m. local time, these are the rainfall totals. As I said, Halifax 5 millimeters of rain, Western Head 33, Fredericton 50, and St. John 24. But as you go to sleep tonight, the rain will start to pick up. You're going to wake up in the morning, and it might be the type of morning where you don't want to go into work because it's going to be overcast and continue to rain, and these are the amounts we're getting. Newfoundland, on the other hand, St. John's tomorrow, sunshine, southeast winds up to 10 degrees. That was an issue, and we're still seeing some rain showers, but at this point it's not as intense as it's going to be. In fact, in the next couple of hours, you're going to see Abbotsford and Vancouver, all of this rain continue to move across the lower mainland, and it's going to continue into tomorrow morning. So this is what we saw from last night. Squamish 72 millimeters, Port Alberni 93, and those were the wind gusts at the Vancouver airport. But let's pile on more rain on top of that. And we've got the lower mainland looking at 50 to 80 millimeters of rain. This takes us into Thursday. Bit of a break on Friday. It's not going to be as intense in terms of rain showers. If you do see anything, a little bit of drizzle. But then on Saturday, more rain moves into Vancouver. And this round, maybe up to 50 millimeters of rain. Now stay with us. Thanks for joining us. Our Active Weather Watch continues. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. So we have a few areas of the country that are seeing some of the most active weather. BC, showers moving in, steady rain showers beginning in Vancouver in the next couple of hours. We've seen a few lightning strikes in northwestern Ontario and showers in Winnipeg, but not too much rain. And then a lot of rain moving into Atlantic Canada. A nor'easter, which a lot of our viewers in the east are used to, is pummeling the east coast as we head into tomorrow. Let's first talk about BC before we move to the east. We have these showers moving across to BC, getting a bit more intense around Abbotsford at this point, and for Vancouver. Not like last night, though. We had wind warnings in place last night, rainfall warnings too, and wind gusts at Vancouver Airport reached 74 kilometers an hour. Thousands of people didn't have power. Trees were down. There was localized flooding as well. But we're just adding more rain to what happened last night. So remember to clean your storm drains. A lot of the leaves are coming down off the trees at this point, so that doesn't help matters at all. 50 to 80 millimeters. This takes us into Thursday evening. And for the interior as well, Quesnel down to Kamloops, even Cranbrook could be seeing under 20 millimeters of rain. Let's focus on the east now, where the city of Halifax has been seeing steady showers tonight. That's where we found Rachel Schutzen and Chris Murphy. All right, so if you see Rachel or Chris, say hi to them. They're going to be there in Halifax tomorrow. So Halifax has seen 5 millimeters of rain so far. Yarmouth at least 26, and New Brunswick, heavy rainfall around Stanley, Fredericton, Perth Andover, Moncton as well, getting into some heavy bands at this point. Type of night where I'm sure Chris and Rachel are going to take a nice warm bath and heat up. Tomorrow morning, we'll see those showers continuing. Rainfall warnings are in place up to 100 millimeters on the high end with this event. Halifax likely 30 to 60 millimeters, but the South Shore getting close to 100. Now, this nor'easter is also bringing strong northeasterly winds. Please, yes, active weather. We're looking at BC, seeing rain moving through right now. Vancouver, it's going to pick up for you in the next couple of hours, that's for sure. And towards the east, on the other end of the country, a nor'easter developing, bringing us some strong northeasterly winds, and we're going to be looking at rainfall warnings in place through the overnight, bringing some areas up to 100 millimeters of rain. Now, we'll talk more about who's seeing what, but right now, let's go outside to the city of Halifax, where Rachel Schutzen has been talking to some brave souls who are willing to talk to her under an umbrella. That's right, they'll be in Halifax into tomorrow morning, so if you see them on the streets, say hello, maybe chat with them. You can be on TV. So through the overnight, steady rains in the city of Halifax, New Brunswick, Fredericton, Moncton seeing some showers, Stanley as well. The rainfall warnings are centered, however, in the south shore of Nova Scotia, towards Yarmouth and up towards Bridgetown too. And for New Brunswick, we've got St. John included, Sussex as well. So this will be between 50 to 100 millimeters of rain by the end of the day Thursday. This is what we've seen so far as of 9 p.m. local time. St. John 24 millimeters, Halifax Halifax just 5, but Western had 33, St. Stephen 14 millimeters. And as you go to bed tonight, you're going to wake up. It's going to be drizzly, rainy, the type of morning where you want to sleep in. So Halifax 30 to 60 for you, not in the rainfall warning. And we don't have any wind warnings in place, but definitely still the winds are going to be quite gusty out there. Saying that they were seeing some trees being struck by lightning. There were thousands in the dark. Tonight, not as intense, but it is going to pick up through the overnight. We can see that rain moving in towards Abbotsford, and we've seen a few lightning strikes on the western shores of Vancouver Island. But this was from last night's damage. Vancouver peak winds up to 74 kilometers an hour, and I've seen on Twitter a few people that did have some damage in their backyard. This is the rain you're seeing through to Thursday. Coming up, more updates on when it's all going to end.